Hey guys, so here I am with basically I'm recovering from the flu. So today we're gonna make a low energy video. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about the I want to get good fast at programming videos out there on the interwebs. I see them all the time. You may, stop me if you recognize this, something along the lines of learn JavaScript in 6 minutes, learn C sharp in one video, learn yada, 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 yada. Learn something quick, learn something quick. And I wanted to share with you some thoughts that I had, or rather the expectations I think that you should put when you look at something like that. Now, let's start off by stating some things and defining some things first and foremost. When somebody tells you that they can teach you JavaScript, for example, in 6 minutes, what they're actually saying, or rather, it's kind of like having, something like, buying something from TV Shop or something like that, or, get six-pack abs in 8 minutes or something like that. That may be what they're actually saying. I don't know if this is obvious, but what they're actually saying, it's the same thing. Like if I don't think there's anybody out there on the internet that thinks that you can literally get a six-pack by working out for 8 minutes and then they're there. This is just a workout routine that is going to require you months and years, most likely a lot longer than what you can possibly imagine over a long period of time. And it's also going to be like if you want a six-pack, you're not going to get that without having a lot of conditions to met. You need low body fat, you need a healthy diet. Like there are tons of things in order for you to get a six-pack. But yeah, sure, the workout might be 8 minutes. So they're not technically lying. What it is, I think we both can agree, is clickbait. That's what it is. It's just clickbait. They're only trying to make you click, and like that's it. It's not about teaching it. In general, it's not about teaching you. And if like I'm not saying that it's not valuable. I'm just saying that if you label something like that, I think that you're putting a lot of like it doesn't feel so innocent to me. It's not. It feels very deliberate. It's what newspapers do when they very deliberately formulate something to make it sound more sensational than it actually is. And this is the case for learn JavaScript, for example, in 6 minutes. You can absolutely learn the syntax. I can make a video where I just walk you through the syntax of JavaScript in 6 minutes, but that's not learning JavaScript. Trust me. You will, even if you watch that video 100 times, you will not learn JavaScript. You will not be good at JavaScript. You will know the syntax, how to write the letters and the keywords and all that stuff, but you don't know JavaScript. You don't know any. That's true for anything. So what I think you should do, you should absolutely watch these if you enjoy them, because I watch them too, and I do so in order to refresh my memory of the syntax. That's it. But if you want to get good at the programming language, it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time. And I can tell you from experience that the average time it's going to take a person to learn any programming language to the point where they are in a position where they can actually have a job and do it professionally is going to be at the bare minimum 6 months. Most likely more than a year it's going to take in order for you to be like in a position where you can really say that you are a junior software developer. If you have, sure, if you are a super genius and you can produce the code and pass all the code tests, then go for it. I have friends who call themselves programmers, and what they do mostly is that they create basically automation scripts and very, very lightweight, like Angular applications for as a consultancy. Basically, they do that for really large companies who just need to improve a certain aspect of their work process. It's to me the same thing as a person who only knows how to work in Ruby on Rails or only knows how to work in WordPress. They are programmers in the same sense. I'm not saying that you can't make a living, but I'm saying that I think that you're a little bit loose. It's kind of you're because the thing is, I'm not going to say that this is the case for Ruby on Rails, but I can tell you about my friends who do this. I know for a fact that they call themselves programmers, but not when I'm there. When we go out drinking, they always correct themselves. They start by saying, oh yeah, we're programmers, and then they kind of go, well, not the same way as you are, Fredrik. Because there's a difference. Because they don't know programming. They don't spend their time working on like serious applications and building like real software and stuff like. They do know some code, but they're not comfortable in it. I can't ask them to come and help me on my projects because they don't know it, and it's okay. I mean, that's not their job. It's absolutely fine. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is the type of expectations that you can put if you want to be a real software developer. In other words, the type of software developer that are in the highest demand, and the type of person basically do what I do and do things that are more advanced than what even I do. And I mean, I'm not a super coder or anything like that, but I am I would call myself a software developer because it's what I do 8 hours a day. And that writing code at that level and building applications that companies make money off and all of that stuff, real stuff of that Facebook does and like all these companies, that is not done in 6 minutes. Trust me, it will no one would pay you a wage if you only know the syntax and you don't know anything else, because you're not going to be able to be productive in like real software development. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that use these as a learning platform, but set your expectations appropriately and try to advance to the point where you can get, where these videos are not even interesting anymore to you. If you know that you're ready to progress from these beginner videos when you see what I see, basically, when you look at these and you kind of go, you're looking at them and you kind of go, oh, there's another guy or girl trying to promote their channel or trying to get people to click on their video. But if you see a video where somebody's telling you, oh, I'm going to teach you, I don't know, React, or they're going to teach you an actual tool, when you actually know the tools and you actually know the different concepts, and somebody's making a video to teach you a certain technique or something like that, that's very interesting because that is more in-depth. That's not, in my opinion, that's not clickbait. It can absolutely be clickbait, but for the most part, they're not trying to scam you because they're actually going into depth about something. So I like. It's very interesting. And yeah, so those are basically my tips. So when, don't buy into these like learn JavaScript in a day or like boot camp, like 2-week boot camps, something like that. You're never going to be a professional programmer in 2 weeks or a month or even 2 months. Trust me, it's not happening. You will absolutely be able to learn how to write code, but you will not be able to work at large companies do not in general. I don't think I've seen any I've never ever worked with anybody or ever heard about anybody working for full time as a programmer with just a bare bone 2-month boot camp type of thing. That's a starting point, and after that it becomes about learning the skills. So I would like to set your expectations. If you really want to be a professional programmer, at least a year. Bare minimum is going to in general is what it's going to take you to learn those skills. So yeah, that I think is a very realistic time period in terms of what you can expect to have to invest in order to actually be a programmer in demand. Hopefully this was useful to you, and trust me, a year just flies by if you like what you do.